Hey, I know life has been lifing. It's been a while. As I often will share, I am a teacher, not a speaker. Now, there's so much significance to that, but let me backtrack. I am still on my fitness journey. If you're not familiar with it, it's based off of the entire concept of atomic habits. If we try to improve ourselves by 1% every single day within 365 days, we'll be almost 38 times better. So I've been on a fitness journey running 1 single mile a day now. I have been working out. I have been doing some meal prepping. However, I have run 1 mile a day for the last 603 days, no days off. So even if I may have slipped up with my meals, I still ran. Even if I didn't make it to the gym, which I typically do, I still ran my mile, no days off. And I feel so much better. Now, the significance of these days, the rise and grind, running 1 mile a day, atomic habits, was on day 365 of this fitness journey, I started the videos. And as I shared, it was just talking about the progress that I made. I made a statement. I said, I am a teacher, not a speaker. That's for 2 reasons. 1, I interact with a lot of the world's top speakers, and also I, at the time, was an educator with 14 years of experience, but I had been out of the classroom for almost 5 years. I have returned to the classroom and I completed a semester. I started in the spring semester, so I wasn't there in the fall, but I had no idea when I started these videos, and I said, I am a teacher, not a speaker. I didn't even understand how powerful my words were and how those words resonated within my mind. And I eventually, saying that on a regular basis, caused that to come to light. It allowed it to take place. So I returned to education. I have such a high level of fulfillment, impact. I'm feeling a passion. But I have to say, returning to the classroom was not a cakewalk. I've been out of the classroom for almost 5 years, and I've never taught in a pandemic or post-pandemic setting, and there is a difference. It has not been a cakewalk, but I will say I leave tired, but I don't leave exhausted because I feel the impact that I'm making and I have a sense of fulfillment. And I also have to say that today is the first day of my summer break. Summertime. I'm sure we're thinking about Fresh Prince. But I'm just gonna take a moment and talk about not Fresh Prince, like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and summertime that we associate with this time of year, especially if you're an educator. I'm talking about Fresh Prince in terms of footprints of an animal. I'm sure that we've seen a movie where somebody is tracking an animal, maybe a predator or some type of other animal. They look down at the footprints as they track that animal, or they see that there's an animal tracking them. And sometimes they'll say, this set of prints is fresh. So how do they know that these are fresh prints? Because they could look at the definition of the footprints. They could see how deep they are, because over time, wind, rain, and just like I said, time, it starts to wear down the footprints of that animal. But if I were to be familiar with the footprints, I could identify the speed that animal was traveling. But if I familiarize myself with a footprint, there's one thing that I know. Those footprints could be used to identify the animal. I could look at the number of toes. I could see if there are any claw marks. I could look at measure the stride, which is the length between them. I could look at the width or the straddle, and it gives me an idea, the size, the speed, and the direction in which the animal is moving. Look at the tracks themselves. Let's say if there were wolf tracks, those set of prints, they're going to be more straight because that's one of the largest canines, so they have a sense of confidence, so they walk straight forward. Whereas maybe a smaller canine like a coyote or dog, they may kind of move around a little bit more, so their tracks will not be straight. What is the significance of talking about these prints? These prints, these fresh prints, we know they're fresh because they're defined, they're deep. They have not been worn away by time. They could be used once again to identify an animal. My thing is this: sometimes we may need a summertime. We may need that break. We may need to have a fresh set of prints, a fresh prints. We have to enjoy that summertime, which is simply a change in the seasons. We have winter, spring, summer, fall. We go through the different seasons, and with those seasons, we could look at pros and cons, but we could just overall focus on what takes place during those seasons. Sometimes if we remain in winter too long, or spring too long, or even summer too long, we're not gonna grow. We're not gonna produce what we need to. Sometimes we need to have a fresh set of prints, because once again, prints, fingerprints, footprints, they're used to identify an animal. It lets us know its size, its direction, its speed, its length, its width. We could identify so much. Is it a predator? Is it a prey? That's all looking at the prints of that animal. It's used to identify what that animal is. Sometimes as humans, we need a fresh set of prints, simply meaning we need a change. We cannot be identified in one season or identified in one way and remain there and continue to flourish. We need to switch things up. So just like I'm about to enjoy my summertime, just like fresh prints, you too may need a fresh set of prints. Fresh prints, you may need something new to make a change, something else that's going to identify you so you could flourish in your season. Now remember, I'm a teacher, not a speaker. I want you to have an amazing day.